Are you the greatest
No.
women's basketball
No,
player of
no,
all time?
No,
Girl,
no.
bye.
No.
Respectfully, girl, bye.
No.
It's okay.
No. You know what? To be honest, I'm one of many.
There's a conversation happening in every WNBA group chat, basketball forum, and sports bar. And it's not about last night's score or who signed a new contract. It's a what if that fans just can't stop asking. What if Cheryl Miller coached Caitlin Clark? Before anything else, let's be clear, this isn't news. No one has been hired, no secret negotiations are happening. And the Indiana Fever already have Stephanie White as head coach. She's doing her job. But sports fans love imagining the possibilities, the what could be, the scenarios that would shake the entire league if they ever came true. And the idea of Cheryl Miller mentoring Caitlin Clark is one of those hypotheticals that's too powerful not to explore. This idea has captured the imagination of fans everywhere, and for good reason.
That's then if I'm not great with numbers, low ball.
Why do you say that?
That's a low ball. You're saying how much?
2.2 billion over 11
Not
years.
enough. Not even close. Now, I'm not trying to inflate it a whole lot, but a 2's nice. An 8 would be better.
It's why people comment, bring her back, under nearly every Fever highlight clip. It's why the potential pairing of a legend and a rising superstar feels less like fantasy and more like fate. And it all started with something real, the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game. Cheryl Miller was invited as one of the coaches, giving her the chance to work directly with Caitlin Clark. Fans watched that interaction like it was a sneak peek into an alternate timeline. The architect of women's basketball stood beside the player who was redefining it. It was only for one game, but it was enough. Clark listened closely. Miller coached with her trademark fire. Fans saw how naturally their energies aligned. And ever since, the speculation hasn't slowed down.
So overall, and I've said this before, the way you can see a league's growth is where you can see how high the bottom has gotten. Last year was the peak with Caitlin Clark. Now it comes down a little bit, but where it starts to go back up, that's where you have a new bottom. And that new bottom is above where it was last year.
This idea resonates because it's not just two big names paired together. It's about legacy meeting legacy in progress. Cheryl Miller isn't simply a great player. She is one of the most dominant basketball athletes ever. At USC in the early 80s, she didn't just elevate women's basketball. She made people care about it. 2 national titles, 3-time Naismith Player of the Year, over 3,000 collegiate points. A superstar before women's basketball had a spotlight. But here's what truly matters. Cheryl Miller knows what it's like to carry an entire sport before the world appreciated it. She played before the WNBA existed. No big endorsements. No primetime coverage. No sold-out arenas. She laid the groundwork every female player stands on today.
Stuttering son.
Yeah.
70? And he goes, no. He's like, Dean, how many points did I said, Because I gotta make it work for the number. And he goes, what? I said,
Now, compare that to Caitlin Clark. Her pressure is different, but just as heavy. She entered the WNBA with more hype than any rookie ever. She sold out arenas, attracted millions of viewers, and instantly became the face of the league, all before she fully adjusted to professional basketball. That's a huge burden for a 22-year-old. And while Clark has handled it incredibly well, imagine her having a mentor who understands not just basketball, but the weight of expectation. A mentor who knows what it's like to carry the sport on her back. That's the magic in this hypothetical scenario.
The only reason that this is being entertained, the only reason people in any mass type of scale are watching is because of Caitlin Clark.
This isn't about basic training drills. It's about legacy, identity, mentorship, and growth. If Cheryl Miller joined the Fever in any capacity, one thing would change instantly: the culture. Not because the current culture is bad, but because Miller brings a standard forged in an era where you earned everything. No shortcuts. No hype. Just work. Clark already works hard, that's obvious. But Miller's level of preparation is championship DNA. Imagine Miller shaping Clark's defensive mindset. Miller was a two-way destroyer, a scorer, and a defensive nightmare. That's the one area Clark could elevate dramatically under her guidance. A stronger defensive Clark becomes a complete player, and a complete Clark becomes a dynasty cornerstone. But the impact wouldn't stop there. Miller's presence alone changes how opponents play the Fever. And that's the kind of influence only legends carry.
And one of the best that's ever played the game, so I've known Cheryl for a little while now. I think her energy, that's what I love about her. Like, it's just contagious, and it's fun. Like, I called her coach and she was like, I don't know about that yet. You'll have to see how I do.
Teams know they can frustrate Clark physically. They know she's still adjusting to the pace and grind of a full WNBA season. But if Cheryl Miller is on that sideline, that psychological edge disappears instantly. Her name commands respect. Her career demands it. And don't forget, the Miller name is sacred in Indiana. Reggie made the Pacers iconic. Cheryl coaching the Fever would reconnect the franchise to a deep basketball heritage that the city still cherishes. Fans wouldn't just show up for Clark. They'd show up to witness Indiana basketball royalty shaping the future. So why hasn't it happened? Maybe Miller doesn't want a full-time coaching role. Maybe the timing hasn't lined up. Maybe she enjoys broadcasting more. Or maybe it's just hard to make fan dream scenarios reality. The WNBA is a business first.
Caitlin Clark 0 for 4 from 3, so on the road this season, Caitlin Clark is a combined 1 for 32 from three-point range. Very unusual. She's hot, beyond January, having to hold her back.
Still, this hypothetical won't die, because it could happen. And because it represents something fans desperately want. The connection of generations. They want pioneers shaping prodigies. They want the women who built the league involved in guiding the women now carrying it. They want heritage, mentorship, and basketball lineage. Cheryl Miller coaching Caitlin Clark symbolizes something larger than one team or one season. Miller represents the foundation of the sport. Clark represents its explosive future. Together, they would tell the story of the WNBA, where it came from and where it's going. Will it happen? No one can say. But the fact that so many fans want it tells us something important. The WNBA has reached a moment where legends and rising stars meeting isn't just desirable. It's necessary for the league's evolution. And even if this pairing never becomes reality, the conversation alone pushes the league forward.